about to go have me some breakfast. About to go have some breakfast at a restaurant somewhere. So I'm gonna go have breakfast. Sit down. Have a cup of coffee. Remember back in the days before the 90s, right? Remember like in the 80s, a lot of things was different, right? You could actually have some cereal and the cereal didn't have no type of chemicals in it that will harm you, right? You remember when television went off at a certain time, like literally. Today, TV stay on 24 hours a day. 11:59, you got that it was a flag that came up, American flag that came up, and it had that song. I don't know if it's called the Star Spangled Banner, that racist song, the racist song that everybody stand up to the at a baseball game or something like that. That's that's what they do. It's a very racist song. People don't understand it or don't even know it or haven't researched the racist part of the Star Spangled Banner. But before the 80s, the TV cut off. Why today the TV never cut off? Think about that. You actually had a time to relax your mind. You mean to tell me now you can go to sleep with the TV on and your mind, your brain, and everything is still is being indoctrinated? That's the word. You can't go to sleep and rest. Settle your soul. Wonder why you wake up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning because you left your TV on and stuff. Back in the day, the TV would cut off. I remember it wasn't no microwaves. So if it wasn't no microwaves, it wasn't black people catching cancer. Let me say that again. Because maybe some of y'all don't understand it or whatever. I told y'all I like y'all people to come in here because I'm going to go ahead and block y'all. I don't like these users. They always coming in trying to use you. But back in the day, I remember microwaves. Now, a little kid don't even know how to warm up a pot of spaghetti. Let me say that again. Some of y'all don't even know how to warm up rice. Or even cook rice for that part. You know what I'm saying? So, back in the day, man, I remember. Do y'all remember? Y'all remember penny candy? Anybody on here remember penny candy? Welcome in, y'all. Welcome in. Do y'all even remember going to redeem the tall bottles of Pepsis and Coca-Colas? Y'all remember doing that? See, and reason why I'm saying these things, because we have got so far out of tradition that we don't even know what it was like. You know, some of these kids don't even know what it is to a rotary phone. Give one of your kids a rotary phone and see what they would do with it. Matter of fact, just give them an extension cord that hooks up to the telephone and ask them, where does this go? See, that's how far gone we have gone. That's how far gone that we have uneducated ourselves, right? People that tell you, see, a lot of y'all don't remember back in the day that the teachers used to spank the kids. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember when the teachers had the right to spank the kids? Some states like Arkansas still does it. But I remember when you get a spanking from a teacher. I remember a teacher would discipline you and didn't have to call your mother. Y'all remember that? So now we fast forward, and now the teachers is telling the kids that you can go cut off your parts of your body at 12 years old. Look at the difference. Look at the difference. See that, and that's the only what I'm really trying to show you. I want to show you the difference of how these people who have come in with the ignorance since the 90s. Because you got to remember, before when they would suggest crazy things like that, they would put their wives into asylum homes, right? Asylums, like a crazy place. Like Europeans was known for putting their wives in the crazy house, because they would come up with all this old crazy ass shit and thinking of whatever. And them people was like, man, that don't make no sense. Why would you say something like that? So they would put that person inside of a crazy house until she got her mind right. And even if she was like going through menopause and she was crazy or something like that, they would put her into a crazy house. Yeah. You know, so at the end of the day, we have to understand, like, a lot of this stuff has changed, man. A lot of things have changed that we know that ain't correct, but we follow the stupidity, right? Even if we look at the toys, we had action figures, right? These little boys now don't. Where's the action figures for the little boys? Where is the G.I. Joes? Where's the He-Mans? Where's the WWF wrestlers for these little boys? So they can have some type of image of a man. A real man. Not no, you know, not no fairy tale. Not no biblical lie. Right? Because even if you tell that biblical lie, they still don't see a figure of a real man when you talk about Jesus or God. Huh? Think about that. Welcome in, y'all. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? But just think about that. When you talk about Jesus, that ain't an image of a real man. This is somebody that, you know what I'm saying, got abused, that was abusing people. The same thing with God. God ain't a good image as a man. How could you sit there and show your kids an image of him and is no figure of him doing anything positive, doing anything constructive? Matter of fact, this dude in the world, he was unliving babies. But you said that this is what your child should be learning or knowing. Think about this. Before, I say the 70s, black people wasn't going with that Jesus stuff. Black people wasn't with that. Let me say it again, because a lot of them people, we was reading out of the Torah. We knew about John and his Joseph and his 12 brothers. It wasn't about no Jesus and the 12 disciples, right? So when you understand that what they have done and lied and plagiarized to you, you know what I'm saying, giving you all the wrong stuff to be a productive person, right? Since the 80s, they have taken away what civil rights, that whatever they gave us. And if you was born in the 70s, right? If you was born in the 70s, can you please tell me what civil rights that we have ever got? And I will sit here and wait, because, you know, in 1968, when they passed the civil rights. So can anybody show me what they gave us as civil rights in 1968? Because I was born in the 70s. So I never received any civil rights. I never received any civil rights in the 80s or the 90s. Matter of fact, the 90s, they did the mass incarceration. They told us that we were super predators. That's what Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton and the crime bills and was the Joe Biden put the crime bill on black people. They attacked us just like they doing the Mexicans right now, jumping out on us, hunting us down, giving us cases, putting us in detention centers. They did the same shit to us. So show me where the civil rights, show me where your God came in and helped us. Show me where Jesus favored us. He blessed us. Because all I seen since then is your little boys is unalive. Your little boys is gay. Your little boys is uneducated, cowards. That's what I see. So show me where this progress of America has done for what we call so-called black people. Show me. Anywhere that you want to, anywhere you want to, I am willing and listening. I am willing and listening. Where is this justice? Where is this civil rights? Because you know the word civil means good in public. Show me where they were good in public. Oh, that's right. They started, unliving you in the courtroom. So show me all the progress where your little boy is supposed to be taught how to be a little boy, a little man through the school system. Now they tell him they can cut off his, so he can think he's something other than what he is with the mental illness. And the same people, the same people who do not like you, historically, is going to educate your child the correct way. You allow that? And now that you see how they pushing this on your child so he can be a lesser human. Wow. And you go for that. You still take your kid to that school. And you think that it should supposed to listen and obey a person that don't like them. Think about that. The little boys don't like them because he know that cave beast doesn't like him. The rhesus monkey DNA do not like a real human. Let me say that again. The rhesus monkey DNA does not like a real human, a hue colored man. So when we know this, why do we still send our kids to school with the most people that do not like us? When they integrated, you got to understand the 70 babies was the first integrated children. Let me say that again. The 70 babies, after they were the first kids to supposedly receive civil rights that they never did. We were the first generation after that. Before that, we was whites only. Black fountains, black bathrooms, stuff like that. So we, the kids who was coming out of that, still seeing that. And this is the funny part. Those people are always talking about, y'all didn't go through it. Y'all didn't deal with it. Man, I was born in 1970. If the Civil Rights Act was passed in 1968, okay, if it was passed in 1968, and we know that things don't change right after that. So then come the 70s, because the 60s, that's where they unlived all our leaders. That's where they start unliving all our leaders. So here go the 70 babies, the cubs of the Panthers. What did you think they do to us? They put crack into our communities. Ronald Reagan, Oliver North, George Bush Sr., and the Contra, the Iran-Contra, sat up there and they did that to our community as little, we were little kids. That's what they did to us and called us super predators after they did it. See, I remember all of these things. See, some of y'all don't remember it because y'all wasn't there born. Y'all just not getting into some type of, which y'all call computers and all this old other, goofy stuff or whatever. Y'all don't know none of this. Y'all don't even got time to go back and look and see what they did to us. All y'all want to do is wave y'all fist talking about they always playing victim. How do we play victim when it happened to us? If it happened to us, how are we playing victim? When we know a stop and frisk was for real, when we know mass incarceration was free, so how are we playing victim? But now that the Mexicans or these Latinos, they scared and running and hiding because of ICE, they doing the same thing that they was doing to the black people, to the Mexicans now. Who's playing victim? Or can I say the Mexicans are playing victim now? Shut up, right? Should I just say shut up and take it? Should I say something like that? Because if I say something like that, then I might be insensitive, as they will say, right? I would be insensitive. Shut up and take it. Because that's pretty much what y'all telling us to do. Shut up and take it. Is that what y'all telling us to do? When we've been attacked, even financially, with child support. Child support is for a man who has a contract with the state. If you never sign no contract, meaning getting married to that woman, meaning you telling me I want to take the responsibility. If I never took a contract, how you going to force me to take care of a kid for a woman that's going to get some money from you? Why don't you get the money from her? Because they feel that they own you. You are the property of the state. Let me say that again. When you go get a birth certificate and a social security number for your kids or whatever, you the property of the state. And you don't even know that. That's why they can come and take your kids anytime they want to, because you allowed them. This is how I know that our people is not educated. You allowed these people to own your baby soon as you spit it out. Then you don't even got sense enough to go get that right back after that baby turns 18. To tell him, hey, he's a grown old man. You know what I'm saying? He's sovereign. You don't know how to do that. So it's a file that you file with the IRS called, I want to say a form 56. Then it's the form 2848. Those are the two forms that you want to do to release yourself from bondage. Boy, it's so much people don't know. And they sit up there and argue and fight and wave a flag and all this old goofy ass shit, and you ain't gonna get nowhere because you don't know law. The things that black people have been trying to tell these people when they was coming over to replace black people. They was brought over here to try to replace us. And we was like, we don't care about that shit. The black male, I don't care about him coming over here and replacing, but you better watch out. You better watch out for that beast. That beast ain't what you think it is. Oh, he my friend. He my friend. Oh, he my friend. You were black. You're lazy. You were black. Okay. Okay, mom. I work black and I'm lazy, and that's your friend. Where they at now? Where they at now? They all over the internet. Why are they doing this to us? We thought we were white. We're not dark as them. They didn't supposed to treat us like this. We have our rights. Well, if you had a right, because you got to understand this, right? ICE is set up for people who come to this country illegally. Let me say that again, because y'all don't understand this. Maybe people don't. ICE is set up just in case somebody entered this country illegally with bad intentions that they need to come and take their ass away. It is an agency to protect Americans from people that's trying to come in and invade and fuck up and do all this wicked ass shit. So that's why ICE is even set up. First of all, it's a protection to protect Americans and America. So when you have this entity of coming in with all this stuff that's going on with the kids, and what we see at MacArthur Park in Philadelphia with all the stuff that's crossing that border, that's harming our children, harming our communities, harming our whole economy, ICE is set up for that, to protect you as an American. So where is they doing something wrong? Where? I remember back in the 80s when Gaddafi was hijacking planes. And you know why he was hijacking the planes? Because he knew that the cocaine was coming into America. And they was putting it into the black communities. So what he was doing, he was stopping that. Gaddafi. Yeah. America didn't even do that. But all the people that's from Colombia and all this South America's putting that shit into our communities, and now they want to point the finger and say, look, that's like taking a lion and having a lion in a cage for 10, 12 years, and the lion started deforming some type of deformity of his body because he's been stuck in this small cage. As soon as you let him out, you're like, look at him. Look at him. He's deformed. He's not normal. That's what America has done. And that's what they was trying to do still to this day. But now what has happened is the people who was sent here to replace the black people are now being treated like black people. They want us to side with them. Remember, we were lazy. We didn't want to work. A people that's been working in this country for 400 years and ain't got nothing from it. You don't even apologize for any of this shit, and you still think that we, the generation, gonna come work for you? That's where they messed up at. Black people, Farrakhan said, no, black man, get your own business, do your own thing. I don't care if you selling marbles. Get your own thing. You don't need them, because they have sent people over here to replace you. Show them that you gonna need. So what has happened is, historically, they need around about 8 Mexicans or 8 Latinos to do the job of one black person. And that's why they losing money. That's why they trying to send them the fuck back, because every time they get them to do a job, they don't do it correctly, and you got to go over 4 or 5 times. That's why they said, I'd rather measure 100 times and cut once than cut 100 times and measure once. And that's what's going on right now. All the shit that they thought that y'all was gonna replace black people doing, you can't do it. Just think about this. Who the fuck gonna play NBA? A 3-foot Mexican? How fun is that gonna be? Let me say that again. A 3-foot Mexican gonna dunk a ball? We'll wait and see. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that... So when you know things like that, you need sitting up there, you got this 5-6 ton baby. You tell me a 4-foot Mexican is gonna carry this big ass baby around? She having a hard time getting that baby in there. She's having a hard time to getting it to shut up, to mind him and all this. So at the end of the day, the nannies, you need like 3 or 4 nannies to take care of just one little white kid. So you losing money. So what's going on? Oh, the black people won't do this no more. The black people won't take care of our grandmothers. The black people won't cook for us no more. They won't iron our clothes no more. They won't come and work in our jobs no more. So let's replace them with the Latinos that they had over here sending the drugs into their community. Right? The Contra, the Cartel, Colombia, all these places, all this place that got the cocaine, that grow cocaine, y'all sent that over into the black community. So now let's replace them with the people that was sending that stuff over here. It's a cold game. It's a cold game. But truthfully, we can't hide the truth no more. Y'all want to know why the fuck we ain't joining? Because y'all called us lazy. You thought you was white. You thought you was a white person because your skin lighter than mine. So you thought that America favored you more. So when they gave you a little Escalade, a little, some little Tahoe, and you walking around, running around with your little cowboy boots on, still with the black culture, that's another thing. How the fuck you don't like black people so much, but you wear Michael Jordan shoes? How you don't like black people so much, but you will wear cowboy boots, a cowboy belt, a cowboy hat? The word cowboy is meaning a black person. The cowboys, the first cowboys were black people. So, but you don't like mayates. You don't like niggas. But you dress like a nigga. You wear nigga clothes. You wear the nigga style. Who the fuck sitting around walking around with what you call them, Huaraches? Who the fuck wearing Huarache sandals and shit like a person in Mexico? Is that the style now? If niggas put it on and start wearing it, it would be. But ain't no motherfucker walking around with no motherfucking pants all the way up here telling me, hey, vato ese, hey, Simon. Ain't nobody walking around doing shit like that. Nobody doing that. It's the black culture that you take. It's the black culture that you take, then try to emulate a white person because your skin and your hair is straight like them. Anything with straight hair, that lets you know that came from an animal. When you look at a dog, when you look at a cat, when you look at a monkey, it don't have nappy hair. It has straight dead hair. And when these people were walking around with full fur on their bodies and walking on all fours, we knew that they were not human. Human. We knew that because we even shaved that motherfucker. We were like, oh shit, goddamn, it's kind of like a man under this. This is a mankind, a kind of a man. It wasn't no real man. So when this beast started going around hurting people, abusing people, you got to understand. You must understand. We put up guards. We try to defend ourselves. We try to keep them away from our livestock, our kids, our children, because they will come up missing. And still to this day, those natures, those DNA traits is still roaming inside of their DNA. So it's not something that we must forget. We have to remember life before the 90s, life before the 80s, life before BCE, before the crack era. Life wasn't like this. Black people wasn't like this. The motherfuckers that was coming over, that came over here now, they wasn't here 20, 30 years ago. They didn't build shit. Who built the Gateway Arch? Who built the cities of St. Louis? Who built the cities of New York? You talking about one motherfucking place in a corner, a small ass spot called Los Angeles. And when you sold your country to America, when you sold this land to America, you can't reclaim and say they took it from us. This was Mexico. You sold it. Did nobody take anything from you? You sold it. So now that you sold your land, you want to call you, and they done fixed it up and made it look all good, put all fancy stuff all around here. Now you want to reclaim it. That's what you call an Indian giver. You remember back in the day, you'd be like, that's an Indian giver. They give you something, they want to give it back. Right? Mexico ain't California. It's not. The word Khalifa is where you get the word California from. Khalifa is a black goddess. Let me say that again. When you look at the original seal of California, you will see a black goddess, a black lady, the indigenous person of this area. Very, very dark-skinned. Not no mulatto-looking person. We talking about very, very dark-skinned people who were the Khalifas. The lady who they took this word California from is a black mystical goddess. So when when y'all hear that little joke that Eddie Griffin talking about California, it sounds like Mexico or whatever. No, that's because Mexico wasn't Mexico until the Spaniards came and took it. Let me say that again. That place wasn't called no damn Mexico. It wasn't no Spanish speaking people over here. It wasn't until the Spaniards came over from Spain and beat the people up over here, forced them to talk Spanish, forced them to believe the Christian or the Catholic way. And now still to this day, these people are slaves to the ideology of the Spaniard Christian Latin way. These are slaves. They don't know no better. They don't know no other language. They don't know no other religion until they got to the black people. And the black people say, hold up. You ain't no damn Catholic. You got more Hebrew in you than you got some type of colonizer. So now they want to go towards the Hebrew Israelites now. If you see these Mexicans now, they trying to let go that Catholic bullshit because they know the Catholics is the ones who had you enslaved. The Catholics is the ones who made you speak Spanish. What was your language before the Spaniard people came here? What was your religion that you believed, that your people believed in before the Spaniards raped you? What was it? Majority of the Latinos can't even tell you because they've been raped so long that they don't even know. So they are running around stupid as ever, not knowing who the fuck that they are. At least the niggas know, like, nigga, I ain't no damn Englishman. My ancestors ain't no Englishmen. Somebody did something to us and forced us to believe this shit, forced us to talk in their language. And they used a book called the Bible to indoctrinate, to abuse us with. See, y'all still young. This is why people like me is important, that I can go back and I could put my finger on it. I touched it. I tasted it. Y'all don't know what a real banana tastes like. Let me say that again. You don't know what a real banana tastes like. You so caught up with this fake ass food. You think you eating a real banana. The bananas had seeds in it. Just like a plantain. It has seeds in it. Why your bananas don't have seeds in it? Because I remember bananas having seeds. I remember oranges having seeds. They'll give you some damn orange juice today and ain't no seed in the orange. They'll give you a watermelon today, ain't no seeds in the watermelon. So how you gonna tell me what's best for me when you have been giving me all the stuff that isn't? Your religion is not good for me. It's not good for nobody, especially a child. When you can sit there and go to the Star Spangled Banner and look at the third verse that they deleted. Huh? They deleted a third verse. Reason why they did that, because they was talking bad about black people, and black people standing up at a baseball game, a football game with their hand over their heart, knowing that this song was a part of your demise. This song was congratulating what they was doing to you. And you call these motherfuckers your friends? This is your brothers or whoever fuck we supposed to stand in solidarity together? It's a cold game. It's a cold game. These same people, the same people that sit there and laugh in your face, they will make laws against you so they can be on top. They will set people up to come and replace you because you know better now. You know better to not allow somebody to do that to you. You know better now. So you're not going to allow these people to do that and harm your kids and stuff. So what they do, they go to the people who they was getting the supplies from the Contra to trade for the guns for the Iran-Contra war. They go get those people and say, hey, y'all can come over here and y'all can work and live and this and that, because the black man don't want to do it no more. He don't want to be your slave no more. So what the black man do? Oh, y'all go ahead and take these little jobs. Because we ain't finna go out there and bend over, and these people don't appreciate us no more. They locking us up. They putting stuff in our community to poison us. They damaging the food and stuff. Y'all can go and do whatever y'all want to do. We ain't gonna do nothing. And what black people have done since the last 30 years, they step back and let these motherfuckers come on and do what the fuck they do. Black people have allowed y'all to come over here. We didn't want to start no war. We could have kicked y'all ass and ran you away from here. We easily could have did that with no problem. We had the money. We had the arms. We had everything to do it. But we don't see you as the enemy. But somehow that y'all see us as the enemy. We allowed y'all to come over here and get these jobs. We did. Black people allowed you. What we mean by allowed, we did not talk against it. We did not protest against it. We told you come on and take these motherfuckers because we're not going to do it no more. These people don't respect us. They haven't apologized for all the things that they have done. And we seen what they did to our people. We were the children of the 70s. Seeing what they did to our peoples in the 60s and the 80s. And now that we mad in the 90s, they want to attack us with all these laws and all these detention centers. These jump out boys. The same shit that they doing to the Latinos, they did it to us first. And not one motherfucking Latino stood up and said, why y'all doing that to the black people? No, because they was a part of exterminating the black race. They was a part of it. They didn't give a fuck about us getting erased out of here. All they was worried about is replacing so they can get the money. So they can feed, they can eat. They didn't give a fuck about us. Michael Jackson made the song. Tupac made the songs. They don't give a fuck about us. Even though we didn't even put up a fight. Because we're tired of fighting. We're tired of marching. We're tired of telling people you're doing us wrong. We tired of that shit. I shouldn't have to tell no motherfucking stinking ass person who don't wash his ass, don't know how to raise no kids, don't know how to get rid of diseases or nothing like that. I shouldn't have to tell him that you treated me wrong. I shouldn't have to tell somebody that can't have children sufficiently. When your babies come out retarded, when your babies come out ill-informed, I shouldn't have to tell you that because you already see the greatness in what we are doing, and you should ask your brother, hey, could you help me? Could you show me? But no, you want to think that we are niggas and mayates. So now that the people who call you a wetback, they trying to deport you. That's not even in our vocabulary to use. That's what they made up. White people made that word up with what's that place that the water that the Gio Grande or whatever the fuck they was crossing over. The water, right? They was crossing over from Mexico through the Rio Grande or whatever the fuck that shit is. Y'all know what I'm talking about. That's where that term come from. When the Mexicans was crossing the Rio Grande to get over here to America, they was calling them people wetbacks. They put it all in their newspapers. The wetbacks this, the wetbacks that, this and that, wetback, wetback, wetback. That's not even in the black people's vocabulary to even use some shit like that. But the first motherfucking thing that come out their mouth, mayate, chocolate, moreno, all these hateful fucking words that they created from the Spaniards. You hate your own people. Your people are brown. Your people are very dark skinned. The motherfuckers that came from Spain is a blanco. How can you love white more than you love black when you're closer looking to black than a blanco? How? That shows you your self-hate. That's self-hatred. And we have to understand what's going on in this country, that we dealing with people that don't even like themselves. Your brother might be darker than you, but since your mama is from Oaxaca and your daddy is from Mexico, you want to be more of a Mexican. Because they supposed to be lighter and taller. You don't like your dark-skinned, shorter brother that's from Guatemala or El Salvador. You don't like them. You don't like them because they different. They darker. They not as light. They not as white. They don't look like Jesus Cristo. It's a cold game. So when I get on this motherfucker, man, I'm going to tell the truth because I remember. See, they want us to forget. No, we remember. I was born in the 70s. I know these motherfuckers wasn't here 20, 30 years ago. They only came because Bill Clinton and them knew that black people said, we done working for y'all. We not going to cut your grass. We not going to wipe your kids' ass. We not going to do none of that shit. Fuck you. We going to start our own business in America without America. And that's when they got scared. When we showed up 2 million strong in the motherfucking Washington, D.C., on the doorstep of the White House and told them motherfuckers, we not working for you no more. That's when the white people got scared. That's when the white people knew that, oh, it's enough of them to come and whoop our ass. Because like I said, they need 8 motherfuckers to do the job of 1 black person. So now they losing money in America because you thought you was forming a weapon against us. No weapon formed against us shall prosper. And what's happening? They not prospering. They not. Because you didn't form this weapon against us. And now that this weapon don't work, you want it to go back where the fuck it came from. Black people been out here working their ass off for 400 years and still haven't got nobody to say, you know what? I apologize for all the shit that we have done to y'all. We still got smiles on our face and we still overcome these motherfuckers, even in our worstest times. Just think about that 1980 when they put crack into the communities from the Latinos. From Mexico, from South America. They put drugs into America to harm us, to kill us, and we are still here. We still smiling. We still shining, looking good, got businesses and all type of things. They try to stop it, and they couldn't. So now they realize that shit. Now they trying to get rid of it. They trying to deport it. Well, you sent this shit in to replace us. You sent that shit in to replace us, and you thought that you was doing something big, that you was going to replace us with 5 other motherfuckers, 8 other motherfuckers for 1 person. Oh, man, we could get 8 Mexicans for 1 nigga. Yeah, look how much money you losing. Look how much money, and that's what's going on. They losing money. American lost money letting these motherfuckers come over here and do this shit. You thought you was going to replace? They got motherfucking tractors to pick up fruit. They got motherfucking tractors to plant. So who's doing all the planting and the fruit? It's just not them. Go to Arkansas and see if you catch a Mexican down there. See if Georgia allowing Mexicans coming down there to work. Go to Mississippi and see if you see a group of Mexicans down there working in the fields. And you not. You not. Because that's not happening all over this country. If you don't have a green card in certain states, you can't work. California is the only state that allows them to do that. So what about the other 40 motherfucking goddamn 49 other countries? I mean states. Think about that. Think about the other 49 motherfucking states that don't allow that shit to happen. And you try to make one big ass situation out of one state, it don't work like that. And that's just the truth. I don't care that nobody like it. It's the truth. Y'all try to replace niggas. Then smile in our face and tell us, oh yeah, you my friend, but you work black. You're lazy. You work black. I'm telling you, this is what a motherfucker, if I never heard this shit, I would have never said it. A motherfucker told me I worked black. Motherfucker, you don't even know who I am. Motherfucker, I got businesses. I'm a motherfucker actor, tattooist, airbrusher, and some more shit. But here go a motherfucker that think that he got some type of privilege over me because some hunky told you you can come and replace me. You're lazy, you work black. That's what the motherfucker told me. And called me a mayate. Boy, man, let's just say this. I never had a problem after them again. Because at the end of the day, these motherfuckers that was brought here to replace you, they was replace you for a lower fee. These motherfuckers, see, they know they gotta pay us. You just not gonna not pay black people. You gotta pay us. And if you don't pay us, we're going to sue you. And then we're going to take everything. So what they try to do, they try to replace us with some uneducated Mexican. Right? Try to replace us with an uneducated Mexican that don't know no better. Give him $2 or $3 and think that he's doing something. When you came here to undercut somebody that's been working hard and they deserve what they get paid. They deserve a $20 an hour motherfucking paycheck. But now you got motherfuckers coming over here that don't know how to read, don't know how to write English, and think that you're supposed to get $20. Go to Canada and think that you're going to do that. You ain't going to get a job in Canada if you don't speak French. Let me say that again. You can go tour Canada, but you can't become a citizen and have a job in Canada if you don't speak French. They don't give a fuck about you speaking Spanish. Fuck your Spanish. They speak French up there in Canada. And if you don't speak that shit, you don't get no job. And like I said, these people was brought here to replace black people that was fed up with white people bullshit. We were tired of it. We don't want no more of that shit. And you can't do nothing. You can't beat us to make us. You can't kill us to make, you can't lynch us to make us do any of this shit. And that's one thing that they knew. So what they had to do, they had to go get some other slaves called Mexicans or Salvadorians or Guatemalans. You had to go get them people and told them, hey, y'all could come. You don't even need no green card. Come on over here because the niggas won't work no more. That's what happened. Y'all was so busy to try to come and replace black people. Listen to your enemy. You listen to your enemy thinking that you was going to be all good and gravy. But now that your enemy realized that this not working. It's not working. We can't get the slaves. The first thing they say, who going to cut your grass? Who going to watch your kids? Who going to clean your house? We can't let the Mexican go. We need the Mexicans because they are slaves. The niggas won't be our slaves no more. So we need these motherfuckers to be our slaves. We need them. So while you sitting up thinking that you're a citizen or you're a part of America, no, you're a slave. Because the people will not be your slave anymore. They went and got some more slaves to do it. And they not doing a sufficient job, so therefore they losing money. If I gotta constantly keep calling the inspector out here to measure shit, to keep inspecting my shit after it's supposed to be done, and it's not done correctly because they finding some measurements off. This ain't right. The level, you know what I'm saying? The level of the building or whatever the fuck is not right. That's because you went and got some motherfucker that ain't worth shit. They don't have the talent that these people who's been here 400 years creating. You brought in a motherfucker that is shit in a hole. A motherfucker that don't wash his hands after he take a shit because they don't have a sewer system. To replace us who made the sewer systems, who made the commode, who made the bathtub, who used alcohol for sanitizing, the ones that cured the diseases, whether if it was the plague or AIDS. Black people cured this shit. But you will let some motherfucker who was a monkey tell you that they don't know nothing. They lazy. They don't want to be our slaves no more. So hopefully today, ladies and gentlemen, some of these people got some good lessons. And hopefully we can make a change. Hopefully we can start seeing people who now want to learn the true nature of America. Because what's going on right now, these so-called ICE raids or whatever, this is a part of American culture. This is a part of American culture. When they don't want your ass, they gonna get rid of you. Ask the Chinese. Ask the Chinese, can they sell their products in America outside of Chinatown? Niggas created barbecue, but you can't tell me that a nigga can't have a barbecue pit on the side? Like motherfuckers selling tacos and shit like that, street hot dogs. You mean to tell me black people can't sell their food either? This is something that goes on in California. Yeah, you can't just put a barbecue pit no motherfucker where, but you sure got motherfucking taco stands every motherfucker where around California, and they ain't got no damn permits. So now that since you ain't got no permit and you operating as an illegal, they can come and deport your goofy ass. You don't even supposed to be in this country and especially making money. You mean to tell me you in this country, not registered, not legal, and you making money? So that means you robbing the government? They finna come and get your goofy ass. But you didn't want to listen to black people when black people was telling you, hey man, watch out. Watch out. They finna do some shit to y'all, man. They setting y'all ass up. They letting you come over, but they setting you up. Watch out for them. Oh no, you work black. You're lazy. You don't want to work. You're a mayate. You work black. Oh, okay, motherfucker. All right, essay. Because even the essays don't fuck with these motherfuckers. Let's say that again. The real Chicanos is not the motherfuckers that they talking about. The real Chicanos that's here in America is not getting deported. Let me say that again. The real Chicanos are not getting deported. That's why they was calling for the MS-13s. Not the MS-13, the 18th Streets and the Florenza. Right? That's why they was calling for them. Because y'all the real Chicanos. Y'all been here for motherfucking 7, 8, 9, 10 generations. You talking about a motherfucker that only been here 30 years. That they coming to get. That they taking off these streets. That's what's going on. The motherfuckers that they allowed to come over here 20 years, 30 years ago to replace black people when black people said, we're done. We're not fucking with y'all no more. We're not working for y'all. We're not washing your granddaddies and grandmama asses no more. We're not taking care of your little big head, hard head ass kids anymore. Your stinking ass wives who smell like wet dog, or your funky ass husband that smell like 3-day-old motherfucker dried up sperm on somebody's booty hole. We're not taking care of that shit no more. We're done. That's what we said in the 1995, the Million Man March. We cut it off and they knew it. America ain't been right since 1995. When Joe Biden put up the crime bill law against black men, the same shit that they doing to the Mexicans, Joe Biden did it to us. Hillary Clinton did it to us. Bill Clinton did it to us. George Bush Sr. and Ronald Reagan and Oliver North did it to us. So now that we look back and we seeing it, black people watching, seeing exactly what the fuck is going on, because it happened to us. And now that it's happening to another motherfucker, they feel that we supposed to help them. When it was happening to us, nobody helped us. Nobody said shit. You called us niggas, mayates and chocolates and shit. Nobody came and helped us. We just now getting out of the bullshit. We're just now coming home to getting jobs and creating our own lanes and jobs and shit because of the damage what America has done to us historically. And I'm talking about us, me, my generation, the kids of the 70s, the Cubs of the 70s, the Cubs of the Panthers, the babies who they was left alone without fathers because America government was taking them out. I'm that generation. You can't tell me slavery didn't happen to me when I seen my people. When it was happening to us, what they was doing to us. When my elderly people who had soles of corns on their feet this thick because they didn't have shoes. They had to walk barefooted in the fields, had to walk barefooted to school. My elders that you sick dogs and water hoses on, that you told them that they couldn't leave out of their community after sundown. How dare can a stinking ass bean eating motherfucker tell me what me and my people have been going through in this motherfucking country and then call us lazy when your lazy ass is sitting up in the house right now? Why the fuck you ain't out doing what you was doing around about 2 months ago? Is it lazy or is it because somebody attacking you? Since you supposed to be so working hard and shit, why the fuck you ain't out there? Because you scared of ICE. You scared of fuckers ICE that's gonna come and lock your ass and deport you. So when black people happen to black people, y'all call us lazy though. Get the fuck out of here. So I remember, y'all. And we got to make other motherfuckers remember too what has happened to us, what is going on still to this day. It's just so happened us, our generation, we're not going for it. We're not going for it. Our generation is not going for it. Our generation will come back. We knocking at your door. We going to the schools where your kids go at. We gonna find you. And that's one thing that they know. And we pulling up. We pulling up with them things. We wish you would try to do all that old extra shit that y'all used to do to our ancestors. So at the end of the day, man, I'm waking up. I hope this remind you to go research, do your real history. Don't let somebody tell you what's going on or what happened. How can you listen to a motherfucker that's been colonized by somebody that don't like you, and you gonna listen to that? You gonna take heed? These motherfuckers colonized you, took everything from you, and then gonna give you a white man tell you Jesus is the only way to get out of this situation. Jesus is the only way that you will have a better life from these people who's hurting you right now. How you let your enemies tell you some goofy ass shit like that? That's when you take control of your life. When your enemy is trying to give you a language, when your enemy is trying to give you a God, when your enemy is trying to educate your children, that's when you stand your ass up. And you stand up for your people. You stand up for your rights. You stand up for your ethnicity, your nationality. That's when you do that shit. You don't lie on some dumb motherfucker who speaks somebody else's language or believe in somebody else's fucking God to tell you what's right and what's wrong. This motherfucker is dumber than a motherfucker. He listening to another motherfucker that's oppressing him. And now trying to get you to believe the same shit that them motherfuckers got him believing. You don't trust a motherfucking two-faced motherfucker like that. In the Latino world, they call it double-faced. You don't trust a double-faced motherfucker to tell you what you should believe in. That's your enemy. Period. That ain't a friend. That's an enemy. And once you know that, once you realize that, you ain't got to go far. You don't have to do nothing extra. Know thy enemy. Know thou enemy. You supposed to know the motherfuckers that sit there and lie to you in your face. If you got a friend, your friend won't lie to you. Your friend won't turn their back on you. Your friend will not give you a helping hand. A friend will help you. That's how you know that you got somebody genuine. But if a motherfucker sitting there laughing in your face and talking behind your back, you ask them to come help you, that motherfuckers can't even lift a finger to help you, that's not a friend. A motherfucker will lie to you in your face telling you that Jesus is your Lord and Savior, that's not a friend. That is not a fucking friend. That is not a good person. Because he'll sit there and lie to you right in your face just so he can deceive you. They say that the devil, biggest trick, the sin that the devil did was to deceive the world. Well, God murdered the world. God murdered the babies. Jesus beat on animals. Jesus was beating people with whips. Jesus was having sex with a man. So why are you listening to a motherfucker like that instead of a motherfucker that's helping you out, that's showing you the truth, that's giving you the right information so you won't have to live in slavery? The same people who supposed to be researching for cancer can't cure your cancer, but steady got you buying drugs from them. They steady buying pharmaceuticals and you not getting better. You eventually die broke because you gave all your money to the drug man, which AKA the doctor, the pharmaceutical. So where the fuck was your God? You got me believing that some God is going to help me by buying medicine from a white man. Make the shit make sense. Where the fuck is your God? Where is Dios? Where is Jesus? Why the fuck he ain't giving you the money that they paying tithes for in the church? Why he ain't giving the money to the doctor so he can buy your medication? Where the fuck is your God? You depend on a motherfucker who don't like you. He says it in the book that he's jealous. You better not worship nobody else. The only way that you're going to get to him is through his homosexual son. Here go a guy that's having sex with a 14-year-old little girl that she don't even know she pregnant. He gonna send his homeboy down there and put the stuff up in her. But this is your God. This is your only way, salvation. The same motherfucker that murdered the world. Murdered little babies. The same motherfucker. That's your salvation. This is how you gonna get some glory? How stupid are you? So with that being said, man, I'm out this motherfucker, man. Thanks everybody that followed me. Thank everybody that gave me some likes and shit like that. If you want to take heed of this information, man, knowing the truth that these motherfuckers ain't your friends, they'll never be your friends, they're your enemies, regardless if they get behind a religion, if they put some money in your pocket, they still your enemies. These motherfuckers ain't never been our friends. Never. They might have one friend that's outside of their race, and even then, the motherfuckers are backstabbing. They'll throw them to the dogs, the wolves. They'll throw them right up under the bus. Put Billy Ray up there on that goddamn tree. I don't give a fuck about that nigger. Why his ass hang? We're gonna eat him. Give me the toe. My wife wants the phallus. So, with me, man, I don't take none of this shit personally because I know my enemy. So therefore, don't nothing surprise me from them motherfuckers. Anything that came from a monkey, a rhesus monkey out of the caves that you was never around smelting gold, never knew fire or none of this shit, and you gonna try to tell me what God is? Man, look, none of this shit I take this shit personally. Now, when you try to attack me, that's when I take it personally because I know your hate. I know your religion. I know you use this as a weapon. So no weapon, aka the Bible, form against me shall prosper, right? The Bible is a weapon. Let me say that again for all the ignorant motherfuckers. The weapon that they was talking about was the Bible, the word. God ain't never said shit. But somehow some stinking ass motherfucking evolved ass monkey gonna tell you what God is. When that motherfucker couldn't smelt gold, wipe his ass, stop catching diseases and shit because he was living and having sex with animals, how the fuck he gonna tell you what God is? How the fuck he gonna tell you this bitch historically never raised kids successfully? She needed a nanny. She needed a mammy, a slave or something to raise her kids successfully. She never created successful kids. And this motherfucker gonna tell you how to educate your kids? You gonna listen to a bitch that never raised no motherfucking kids and not look at your babies out here gay, dead, or locked up, incarcerated. You listen to that bitch on The View and now look at your babies. The worst kids out here ever. We used to sit there and shake our heads at them damn kids in the store. When them hunkers had them kids in the store. Fuck you, mom. I hate you. You're not going to buy me. We used to shake our heads at. Now you listen to that bitch and look what your kids are doing. And I'm going to leave it on there. I leave it right there. Because you know I ain't lying. You know I ain't lying. You know I ain't lying. Your kids acting just like the little motherfuckers that used to act in the stores when we was growing up.